Partner upset I received COVID vaccine. So I, 27F, just got my first dose of the COVID vaccination. My partner seemed very upset when I told him, 31M. Apparently it makes him very uncomfortable and he had no idea why I, someone who is not at risk, would want it when there are no long-term studies. However, I have lost multiple family members to COVID, one of which I was close with and was hurt by being unable to see her for the last year of her life, due to lockdown. I have very little confidence, so I guess there are two questions I'd like to ask. 1. How can I better explain my point of view without raising tension? If he doesn't want to vaccinate, I am okay with that. I worry, but it's his body, his choice. 2. And my most important question, how can I gain more confidence in myself, especially when we do disagree as a couple? My anxiety has been so bad as of late, and this has me shaking with a million thoughts. Should I have gotten vaccinated? Was I well informed enough, etc.? Thanks for your time. Right now I'm just muttering, I am a confident woman, to try and ease into the mindset. But I always find myself apologizing for things, and even my partner has asked me to stop saying sorry so much. Edit. I just want to clarify that my partner isn't generally anti-vax. He feels that the COVID vaccinations haven't been studied enough and is worried I'll develop a blood clot. However, I told him that is no reason to explode on me over a decision I made for myself. Not to mention, if and when we have children, I'll be at a higher risk from pregnancy, and that I'm already at a higher risk with my birth control pills. All bodies are different and react differently. But that I deducted that the small risk is worth the benefit to our community. Have lost multiple family members to COVID, one of which I was close with and was hurt by being unable to see her for the last year of her life, due to lockdown. How is this answer not good enough? All you really have to say is, my body, my choice. There is no argument or rebuttal to have on that. He can't control what you do with yourself, and if he thinks he can, he's lying to himself. I'm not totally sure where the communication breakdown is here. Is one of these things happening? You haven't tried to explain your feelings, because as soon as he indicated he thought it was a bad idea, you got scared and clammed up. B. You tried to explain your feelings and he rejected them and kept insisting you were wrong, so you're asking how you can explain yourself in a way where he will actually listen to you. Your statement about being extremely anxious when he disagrees with you makes me wonder if he frequently bulldozes your choices. Is this just about the vaccine? If it really is, you can say, I want to do my part to protect our community and it's my choice to be vaccinated. Congrats, you're dating a scientifically illiterate moron who prefers you put his desires above your own health. Do with that info what you will. I mean, I'm young and healthy. Got the vaccine months ago as an essential worker. After seeing so much death living in an epicenter, it wasn't a choice. I get vaccinated for the public good. I know people who won't be able to. I do it for them. Also, you're not a doctor, or I assume so. So the informed choice is listening to the experts. Vaccines do a lot of good. But also you have family members affected by COVID. That's enough of a reason to me. You said, I have lost multiple family members to COVID, one of which I was close with and was hurt by being unable to see her. If that isn't enough, then you need a new partner. As someone who just tested positive at 21 with a new incredibly contagious variant, which my boyfriend almost got hospitalized for, I think you're fortunate you are able to get the vaccine. I just want to reassure you that what you did is part of something greater and bigger than your personal health alone. You should be proud of yourself for doing it, and it's a little strange that he doesn't see it that way. Your partner's an idiot. You deserve better. XX. I'd say it's more weird that your partner didn't know you were getting the vaccine as opposed to bringing it up after the fact. But the reality is, most of us are there. My wife and I are young and healthy. We have a newborn. We are social and want to go live our lives. Whatever helps with doing that seems worth it. You shouldn't have to fight this point. It's done. You want an added layer of protection. End of story. As for confidence, realize there are two people in this relationship. If you're not comfortable with something, remind yourself that it's okay to question things. They're not always right, as evident here. It's nothing to feel bad about. Disagreements don't have to mean the end of a relationship as long as you're both civil about it. However, I have lost multiple family members to COVID. So have I, and you shouldn't feel bad about what you did. You made a choice of what happens to your body and you decided to get the vaccine that has been reported to be very effective with little drawbacks besides maybe feeling sick or having a sore arm. Ask him this. Does anyone know the long-term effects of catching COVID? Seriously, how much do we actually know? Yes, it fucks up your lungs right now. But what happens 10 years from now? How much scar tissue will you develop? What'll happen to your lung capacity? You gave him enough good reasons. Either your boyfriend is not listening to you or he does not really care about you reasons. He had no idea why I, someone who is not at risk, would want it when there are no long-term studies. There's not SMTH such as, no risk, but, low risk. Low risk still means risk. You value your life enough to get a vaccine which is free, safe and the best option to protect yourself and as well, other people. What's his degree? Whenever I hear stuff like, there are no long-term studies, I laugh. Unless he has a degree in applied microbiology or medicine, I don't want to hear it. People who barely passed high school biology are not qualified to spread this kind of BS. He's 31, dump the dumb BF. First, the reason non-at-risk people need to get the vaccine is to create herd immunity. Also, these vaccines have already been dosed to hundreds of millions of people. If there was some huge deadly side effect, it would have been discovered already. I didn't even read all the way through and my first thought is, are you fucking kidding me? This would be a huge red flag and dealbreaker for me. I would be running out the door. Good luck. You should be upset that your partner doesn't want to get vaccinated. Fools like him are why we won't reach herd immunity. Fucking selfish. Why do you have to give this guy a reason? It's your body. I am seeing more and more women feeling as if they have to console who they are with. A lot of these cases occur in which a female has known the guy for a short time. This community might be of use, no more intimidation. It's meant to bring like-minded individuals who are tired of being bullied. You don't need to explain anything to him or apologize. This is a very personal decision and none of his business. Infectious disease epidemiologist here, and my professional opinion is that the evidence support your decision to vaccinate. You have already lost multiple family members to the disease. You know COVID kills people at rates much greater than the risk of adverse events associated with the vaccine. 1. How can I better explain my point of view without raising tension? Collect evidence from reliable sources. He feels that the COVID vaccinations haven't been studied enough and is worried I'll develop a blood clot. This graphic summarizes the risks pretty well. Worried about clotting? Then take a low-dose aspirin. Unless the OP's boyfriend works at the same place she does and saw her get vaccinated, I don't get why she told him anything. Unless she gets a bad reaction to the vaccination requiring assistance from her, then her getting it doesn't impact the boyfriend at all. I don't know why some folks think that being in a relationship means explaining, excusing and defending everything you do to your partner so they'll approve. I guess walking on eggshells and glass shards to keep from raising tension is so much better than being on your own and actually having agency over your own life. To me, the best reason for somebody who is not at risk to get vaccinated is to minimize the risk of unknowingly infecting somebody who is. Personally, I'm more concerned about the very upset aspect of your question. I can see disagreeing, we all do that, but getting upset over a choice you've made for your body just seems like a red flag to me. I would hope that, agree or disagree, he would understand that you are your own person with a right to make your own choices. For what it's worth, thank you for doing your part to make the rest of the community safer. I very much appreciate it and I do not believe myself to be in the minority. I have a chronic health condition affecting my heart and my dad died of COVID. As soon as I could get the vaccine I did. My partner was right there with me, he qualifies as my caregiver. While I don't think that you have to agree on every single thing in a relationship, this disagreement would probably be a deal-breaker to me. The vaccine will finally end this hell, even if a few people have side effects. Him not respecting that, or just your choices about your body in general, would be really problematic for me. Especially if you feel this uncomfortable about his disagreement. Is he handling it in a respectful way? There are over 500,000 reasons in the US alone why getting the vaccine is important, and it's a shame your partner can't see it. From someone who also lost a very dear loved one to this virus, thank you for getting vaccinated and making the world a slightly better place. 1. You have body autonomy and get to make decisions about your own body. Period. 2. If he doesn't already understand your decision based on your family loss seriously, why are you with him? One of the good things about being an adult is being able to make your own decisions, without having to explain to anyone. Your list of reasons are numerous and you don't need to justify every action to your partner. It's his body and his choice, the same applies to you. If he persists, you can state the following. 1. You lost many family members to COVID. This should be enough, and I'm sorry to hear that too. Because you don't want to suffer chronic lung damage or have a expensive hospital bill. 3. Hundreds of millions of people have taken the vaccine, and the chances of a blood clot is 1/250,000 people, and only currently applies to the AstraZeneca vaccine. There is no reason not to get vaccinated from a health perspective, honestly. I'm in healthcare and I jumped at the chance to be vaccinated first. You're at risk if you have lungs. Your partner is not well informed. You've had several close friends, family die of COVID, and you did the smart thing. I work in healthcare and got mine months ago. The chances of developing a brain clot are slim. Same as him, your body, your choice. Be firm in your decision. Tell him that you respect his opinion the same way he should respect yours. Same with any conversation. Confidence is gained over time. If he disagrees, so what? You won't always agree with him. Agree to disagree. You've got this. Not every couple agrees on everything. The reason for getting a vaccine isn't just for yourself, as others have pointed out, but for others who are more at risk. Of course, people more at risk have the option for vaccines, but vaccines are not 100% effective too. Some people's immune systems are compromised and are unable to receive vaccines and have no choice to get one. Even if you are never in contact with those people, you can spread to others who can, or those others can spread to others that will. That's the beauty of herd immunity. You are doing your part of society to protect society by getting one. What benefit to your community? I'm willing to take the very small chance of some long-term problem associated with the vaccine to help my society reach the necessary vaccination rates to reopen safely. It's a small risk to me, and I'm willing to do it for my community. Getting the vaccine was a great idea. Everyone is at risk, so everyone should get vaccinated. Ask him this question. How many vaccines have killed 3 million people? If the answer is none, vaccine is better than COVID. While I understand his concerns, your body, your choice. I work in care, in an area where there was a new, more contagious variant, and a few months ago we had an outbreak in our home. None of the workers died, but some of us had quite a rough time. I'm 29 and still with effects of long COVID. The residents weren't so lucky and we had a 20% casualty. So even if you were okay, having no vaccine makes it more likely to get COVID and pass it on, than having the vaccine. Your partner does not need to understand your choices, he just needs to respect them. Sounds like he's struggling there, but that's a him problem, not a you problem. If he brings it up again, try, "This was my decision and I am not discussing it further." Repeat this any time he revisits the topic. I'm concerned about the effect this is having on your confidence, though. Is he like this often? He's an idiot, I'm sorry. If he spoke to a doctor about his concerns, then he would learn that the side effects of the vaccine are better than getting COVID. Are you sure he's intelligent enough to be with you? This isn't your issue to solve. If he has concerns, he's a big boy and needs to talk to a doctor. Remember, kids, the COVID vaccine went through all the normal testing of any vaccine, it just skipped the QAL significant other. It has a way lower blood clot risk than the pill. You know, that thing millions of women take every damn day. His arguments don't hold up beyond any basic research. You did the right thing. Sounds like he's got a control problem. Heart. Your body, your choice. Tell him that getting COVID can also cause blood clots and that the people who are getting sick enough to need ECMO are in your age range. In the hospital I work at and at others across the country, it is not the elderly but the 20s to 50s range people who are getting the sickest. Tell him he needs to get vaccinated. Your boyfriend is an idiot and I wouldn't want him around any family or friends if he's not going to get a vaccine. I'm 30, I had a mild case of COVID. The long-term effects of COVID have left me with brain damage and memory loss. I really hope your boyfriend, frankly, grows up and gets vaccinated. Also, you mentioned the blood clot. When did you tell your boyfriend? Did you get the J&J shot? Also important is why you're anxious about expressing your feelings with him. But his anger with you regarding getting vaccinated during a pandemic is super concerning. Don't have kids with someone who makes you feel this way. There are lots of better people out there. You deserve better. You shouldn't need to explain anything. You lost family. How does he not understand that? Do yourself and break up with him. No point in continuing a relationship if the other party is getting mad for protecting yourself. I got the vaccine as well and I feel great. Yeah, he is lost and uneducated in this matter. Everyone thinks science is black magic until it works. You know what you want and what you believe, that's enough. This has me shaking with a million thoughts. I find it helps to work through these thoughts on paper. My therapist encouraged me to get a book to write in when I'm anxious. Sit in a comfortable space, write down how you are feeling and why you are feeling it. Then work through it. You have really solid reasons for getting vaccinated and you know it. Writing it down will help remind yourself that what you did was the right thing. Well, I think you should do more research and let him know. They have been developing a vaccine since the early 2000s, and that is the reason why we have been able to get it so fast. Yeah, they don't really know that long-term effects, but with the technology that we have now, it's like we can predict what can happen to the human body. It's a lot safer than most realize.